We believe there is a place in the wedding industry for the independent wedding planner. We know our clients believe this too. However, there is still a mixed perception of what wedding planning is and how it differs to similar event manager and coordinator roles. So we decided to get a few of you talking. These are your stories.
So my name is Damien Bailey. I'm a wedding photographer. I have been for the last 15 years and I've shot very nearly 600 weddings in that time. I fell into the industry just by accident, like lots of people do, but I absolutely love it.
I'm a hair and makeup artist and a henna artist. My company name is H Beauty and I've been in the industry for about 14 years. I also provide a concierge service where I have a team of girls working for me.
I'm Kelly Mortimer and I am a wedding venue consultant and trainer, and I have worked selling and planning weddings for the last 20 years in the UK and internationally. I've worked for some of the leading names in hospitality such as Claridge's, Rosewood and Mandarin Oriental.
My name is Mo Kadiri. I'm from Kadiri's Events. We have a catering company and we've been in the business for 40 years. We specialize in Indian Mughlai cuisine. Our specialty dish right now is the biryani.
So a wedding venue coordinator has various parts to her role or his role, and one of the main things is obviously to take inquiries, send out brochures and complete show rounds of the venue. The other huge part that they spend their time doing is completing a function sheet, or otherwise known as a banquet event order, and this is really the communication between the couple and the rest of the team at the venue or hotel. Now, you might be surprised to know that wedding venue coordinators are often handling between 70 to 100 weddings per year. So they obviously have to split their time between those couples, as well as handling all the new inquiries and arranging those function sheets as well.
The events manager has a lot of responsibilities, but I think predominantly we are looking after the front of house. The front of house would entail the cutlery, crockery, the glassware, make sure everything is done nicely on the floor, and then also ensuring the food from the kitchen is served to the utmost best quality.
So there are a lot of benefits to a bride and groom having an independent planner. Now, one of the huge areas I see that people take a lot of time over are things like their invites and their RSVPs and then their thank you cards after the wedding. And obviously a wedding venue coordinator would not be able to do that for a couple, whereas an independent planner definitely would. We also see that an independent planner can create great harmony between the venue and the couple and make sure that both sides have everything they need for a smooth running of the day. Especially with Asian weddings, where we see a lot of different events happening at different venues before the wedding, then obviously an independent planner can also take care of all of those details, whereas a specific venue coordinator would not be able to.
Number one is timekeeping. I think the wedding planner is really good to be there on the day, to keep an eye on things and to keep an eye on timing. So you as a bride is stressed, maybe getting ready and talking to a family. You can leave the wedding planner in charge of keeping a really good eye on time, so she can talk to the suppliers or talk to you and say, no, actually you need to be ready at this time.
I think a lot of brides and grooms don't think they need a planner, but there's an awful lot of planning to be done. Using a wedding planner who has experience and a skill set that's suited to planning something as potentially stressful and tricky as a wedding is incredibly useful. I think more couples would benefit from considering this as an option. There are some fantastic suppliers out there, wedding planners, who have all the skills and all the organisation ability that you would need to help you organise your wedding, and it just makes things easier. The other thing I would say is that it can, with all the admin taken away from you, it can help you enjoy the build up to your wedding, and also, more importantly, I think, help you enjoy the day itself even more.
And there is also the situation on the day. So some venues do have the coordinator there and some hand over to a banqueting manager, whereas obviously an independent planner would hold your hand all the way through that service and then make sure it all happens perfectly on the day.
Benefit number two, I would say, is keeping a really good relationship between you and your family and friends. So you might think your friends and family are amazing, and I'm sure they are, but your wedding planner will be there to be quite firm with them and maybe bridge that communication for everyone. So you don't have to be stressed and thinking about you're hurting someone's feelings or anything like that. Your wedding planner will take care of all of that. They take away my tension as well and take away my stress. So I can then be relaxed and getting the bride beautiful, getting the bride ready, or whichever event that I'm doing, I'm concentrating on the client and not having to bridge that gap between family and friends or keeping an eye on timing. The wedding planner will take all that stress away for me. So even now in my business, I do like to make sure the client has a planner.
I think it's important for the bride and groom to have a wedding planner. It's just basically it helps us tremendously on the day, so that we're basically just kept up to date with who's coming and what's happening each level of time during the day.
I guess the major benefit for me as a wedding supplier working on a wedding with a planner is that there's somebody coordinating everything and everybody that's going on. It's really useful because very often if there isn't a planner, I'm the person as the photographer, the one that sits in the middle, the neutral person at this wedding that ends up doing that myself, and that's often outside my remit and skill set, to be honest. So often it's about coordination, making sure that everybody knows what they're doing, knows where they are, and that there's somebody to go to if there's an issue that isn't the wedding party, bride and groom, or the best man or a bridesmaid. I think those two things are the absolute key factors for me. So when a couple book me to photograph their wedding, I'll often ask them a load of questions to try to work out who they are and what they want from their big day. Things like, who's your florist? Who's your cake maker? But one question I think I probably don't ask is, who's planning your wedding? And I think more wedding suppliers should ask that question as part of the way in which they build up a picture of their couples. Who's your planner?
Who's your planner?
Who's your planner? Who's it again?